Most people move into Greenville, South Carolina, make one massive mistake. They fall in love with the house on Zillow. They see a cute downtown picture. Oh, it is beautiful. Then maybe a brick sidewalk, maybe the clock tower in Simpsonville, maybe somebody holding a latte, and they never ask, can I park once and walk to dinner? Can I grab a coffee? Can I take my bike from my driveway and cruise down to Swamp Rabbit Trail? Can my wife hit a boutique? Can we take the kids to dinner? Can we take the kids to get ice cream? What is actually open after 8 p.m.? How far am I from the Costco, the Target, the Sam's Club, downtown Greenville, GSP Airport? And that, my friend, is how we end up loving your house but hating your daily life. This is a real estate lifestyle audit of the top walkable suburbs in the Upstate. These numbers are estimates. Always double check the availability and the hours before you make a lifestyle based on tacos and vibes. But I will show you the tacos and the vibes. Now, here are the rules. I'm not counting every single restaurant. That would be absolutely ridiculous. What I am doing is if you have to drive 10 minutes to go to the restaurant, that's not walkable. I'm talking real life, core downtown lifestyle where you can park your car, get out, go to a restaurant, get some ice cream, let your kids burn some energy, go to a boutique, spend 2, 3, 4 hours not having to get back into your car and go to another location and another location. Let's start with Greer because Greer might be the most balanced downtown suburb in the entire Upstate. I'm standing right here at Greer Park, right outside Trade Center in the downtown area. This is one of the few places outside of downtown Greenville, South Carolina, where it actually feels like a real downtown. The park is right here. There's a farmer's market going on. It's Saturday. And right behind me is blocks and blocks of the downtown area of Greer that you can walk around. Greer actually has structure. You have tons of restaurants, coffee shops, local boutiques, the city park, enough walkable energy that you can park once and actually spend hours and hours right here in downtown Greer. From the downtown Greer area, you're looking at roughly 15 to 20 food and drink options within a realistic walk of the park and the downtown area. You have places like Blue Ridge Brewing, Cartwright Food Hall, Abbott's Frozen Custard, and other local places that give the Greer area its vibe. And that matters because relocation buyers, when they say they want walkability, they don't want to be walking 8 miles all over the place, or they would live in New York City, or you live in downtown Greenville where you walk everywhere. Families are asking, because I'm a family myself, can I actually get in my car, drive to a downtown area like Greer, go to the shops, go to a restaurant, get some ice cream, maybe see some live music in the park, let the kids run around, blow off some steam, check out the Trade Street Social, the train depot, and not have to get back in my car over and over and over again, or feel like I'm in a giant parking lot. Greer does that better than most suburbs in Greenville. I'd like to say Greer does that the best in all of the Upstate. Well, the train is definitely loud. Yes, it is. But still pretty cool in downtown Greer. I mean, check out that walkability. And this is the free shuttle that they have right here in Greer. You can take this anytime you like. It's a free trolley, 7 days a week. Coffee and dessert are also extremely strong here. You've got Stomping Grounds, Cartwright Food Hall options, Abbott's, ice cream, multiple places where you can grab something casual or make it a whole production right here in downtown Greer. This is one of those areas where couples can split up with the kids. Someone can go to the park, one grabs coffee, one goes shopping, and let the kids burn off energy, and then you can meet back and still not be sitting in your car all day. Hi, how are you? I'm talking about how great downtown Greer is. Isn't it? Yeah. Amazing, I know. See, now let's talk about the after 8 p.m. test. See, look, there's the free trolley right there. Greer does it better than a lot of these towns. Is it downtown Greenville popping till midnight? Absolutely not. Calm down. But compared to some of the other downtowns that basically turn their lights off right when the sun sets, Greer has more of an evening life because you have restaurants, you have bars, breweries, and enough that's going on that when the sun goes down, it doesn't feel like it's a dead downtown. Now, the real life anchor is from Greer Station. You're roughly 12 to 13 miles from downtown Greenville. You're roughly 10 to 11 miles from Woodruff Road, the Costco, the Target, the Sam's Club area, and the GSP Airport. That's a huge win here. Depending on exactly where you live in Greer, the GSP Airport is extremely close. I'm talking 7 to 15 minutes. If you fly back from work or you have family that is flying in, or basically you're traveling back and forth, Greer is a great spot. Here's the truth about Greer. Greer is where charm and practicality shake hands. It gives you a real downtown feel, strong airport access, solid restaurants, coffee shops, events, lifestyle park, and tons of walkability. It actually feels safe and not chaotic whatsoever. If you want the most balanced suburb in all of the Greenville area, Greer is absolutely in the conversation. If you want to be 5 minutes from downtown Greenville, then it is not. But if you want a strong downtown with actual life, walking around, park right near downtown area, walkability, Greer, South Carolina is a heavy hitter. Now, Travelers Rest, because Travelers Rest might be one of the purest walkable areas in all of Greenville. Travelers Rest is different. The center is Main Street right here, and Swamp Rabbit Trail is connected directly to Main Street. See, this is important because Travelers Rest has something that other suburbs don't. It's clean, it's connected, lifestyle, and spine is Swamp Rabbit Trail. As you see, the bikers are coming by right now. And Swamp Rabbit Trail goes 22 miles all the way to downtown Greenville. You can walk, you can bike, you can hike, you can grab a dessert, you can be in a shop. The whole thing feels like it's a normal Saturday morning, all while not getting back in your car over and over again. This is where Travelers Rest wins. It doesn't feel chopped up. With the Swamp Rabbit Trail right on Main Street, you don't have the same kind of railroad track that you have to cross it like you do in Easley and Simpsonville. You have Main Street right here. The trail, restaurants, shops, energy, people walking, their dogs, walking themselves, families, bikes. You get to escape all the chaos, and people love that feel right here in Travelers Rest, South Carolina on Main Street with the Swamp Rabbit Trail. From the downtown Travelers Rest core area, you have got about 15 restaurants, food options, realistically walking 5-6 blocks plus Swamp Rabbit Trail, 22 miles. You have places like Sidewalk Pizza, Farmhouse Tacos, Monkey Wrench, Tandem Creperie, right on Swamp Rabbit Trail. You got Leopard Forest Coffee, Pink Mama's ice cream, and so much more depending on exactly where you start from on Travelers Rest. Like I said, Main Street's right in front of me with Swamp Rabbit Trail going all the way down. Depends on how far you want to walk. This is one of those towns where you can actually spend 90 minutes to 2 hours without getting back inside of your car or forcing it. And this is the huge part of the test. Can I kill 90 minutes here in Travelers Rest naturally? Hiking, walking, hanging out with kids. You can go grab coffee, you can walk Swamp Rabbit Trail, you can have lunch, you can hike, you can ride a bike, and then you can still have dinner. You can basically spend all day here, depending on what day it is with the farmer's market and all the activity going on here. It's not fake, it's not forced, it's not, hey, we put a park bench downtown. No, this is a real life, walkable downtown with shops, restaurants, the whole 9 yards. But here's the catch. Travelers Rest, it is a vibe, but it's not the king of the big box convenience. If your everyday life revolves around going to Costco, Target, Sam's Club, Woodruff Road shopping style, you're a far ways away from that. It's not quick access. You'll need to understand the trade-offs of being in Travelers Rest on Main Street, Swamp Rabbit Trail, for big box locations like Costco, Sam's Club. You're not close. They do have a Walmart here, right down the road. You're choosing lifestyle over convenience in Travelers Rest. Distance-wise, Travelers Rest is a win. 9 to 10 miles to downtown Greenville, plus you have the Swamp Rabbit Trail. Now, It's further away from, like I said, Woodruff Road, the big box location. It's gonna be more of a drive. Now the GSP airport's gonna be a lot further than if you're in Greer or in Malden. So if you're flying on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, you're gonna need to think about that. But if you want more weekend biking, coffee, mountain access, maybe you don't care about driving further to the airport. Now, the after 8 p.m. test is where we get honest with Travelers Rest. If you want that late nightlife, Travelers Rest does not have it. That's downtown Greenville. But if you're looking for that Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, hiking, biking, Travelers Rest is where it's at. Here's the truth about Travelers Rest. This might be the purest downtown in all of the Greenville area. It's amazing for people who want trails, hiking, biking, outdoor energy, and a true walkable downtown. But if you're looking to be close to Target, Costco, big box locations, Sam's Club, this is probably not gonna be for you. But this vibe might be just for you. Low energy, mornings, early afternoons. Welcome to Travelers Rest. Now let's go to Fountain Inn, because Fountain Inn is one of the most interesting towns in all of the upstate. This is the diamond tip of the Golden Strip. Now Fountain Inn is a lot smaller than Greer. It's smaller than Simpsonville. It doesn't have the same volume of restaurants and shops, but this downtown has something else that matters. It's called identity, ladies and gentlemen. It feels like a small town that is waking up. And for a lot of home buyers, that is very attractive. The center point here is Main Street in Fountain Inn. This is where you measure the walkability. And from this downtown core, you're roughly looking at 8 to 10 restaurants and food options within a realistic 4 to 5 block walking area. Now, depending on how far you want to extend, you have places like the Fair House, Cusinella's Pizzeria, Voodoo Brewery, Gio's Pastry Shop, and you also have the Mill at Fountain Inn that is changing the whole entire Fountain Inn lifestyle conversation. And yes, coffee matters. I know that sounds silly, but it is not. A good coffee shop is like a neighborhood heartbeat. It gives somewhere you can meet, you can walk, you can talk, you can see it, you can sit down and feel connected. This is downtown Fountain Inn. And for relocation buyers, that kind of matters more than you might realize. They're not just talking, where can I sleep? They're asking, where can I build a rhythm in a town? Fountain Inn's walkability is cleaner than people expect. It's not as big as Greer with the surrounding blocks, but it is easier to understand. You can park right here on Main Street, grab some food, go hit up a restaurant, get some ice cream, get some coffee, hit a local event downtown, maybe a farmer's market, and feel this small town energy. It's not pretending to be downtown Greenville. It's not even pretending to be downtown Greer. And honestly, that is the point right here in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. The after 8 p.m. test is where Fountain Inn still has a lot of room to grow. It's getting better, but it's not as a late night powerhouse as like downtown Greenville. This is more for a dinner, coffee, local event, you go home kind of downtown feel. And for a lot of people, that is perfect. Not everybody wants a nightlife like downtown Greenville. Some people want clean, quiet, charm, and growth. Distance-wise, Fountain Inn is further from downtown Greenville than Greer, than Malden, than Simpsonville. You're roughly 20 minutes. You're roughly 18 miles to downtown Greenville, depending on your route. Costco, Target, and Sam's Club are all gonna be more of a drive. GSP Airport, it's not terrible, but it's not super close like you are in Greer. So again, this is the trade-off. You're getting the small town charm with growth potential, but you're giving up the convenience of Costco, Sam's Club, big box stores, places like that. See, here's the truth. Fountain Inn is the before it gets too obvious town. If you want smaller, slower, charming, and rising, Fountain Inn is where it's at. If you want big city energy, endless restaurant options, and late night life, this is probably gonna be a little too quiet for you. But for the buyer who wants small town, upstate feel with momentum, Fountain Inn might just be one of the smartest plays in all the upstate. Now let's talk Simpsonville, South Carolina, because Simpsonville is where people can get really confused. Simpsonville has a lot going on, but let's be clear. This is one of the most popular suburbs in the Greenville area for families. You have neighborhoods where everyone is shopping, restaurants, Fairview Road, Heritage Park, concerts, grocery stores, gyms, medical access, and plenty of daily convenience. But if we are specific about downtown walkability, you have to separate convenience from charm. The center point here is the clock tower, which is right here, the ice cream shop and the Main Street area. And yes, there are restaurants. This is a local downtown spot with a train track right there. You can go to the other side of the road. Well, the ice cream shop's behind me, but you can go to the other side of the road. There's more restaurants. You can cross completely safely. It's actually the crossing I feel like here is probably a little bit better than in Easley. You have places like Warehouse 625, Sweet Sippin', Vaughn's nearby, and other food and drink options depending on your exact walking zone. It goes a few blocks down. With the clock tower being right here, the ice cream shop right here, you got Corner Slice right there, the railroad track, Papa's and Beer. Guys, Simpsonville is a place where you can park, walk around, and spend 2, 3, 4 hours and still not get back in your car. But here's the honest part. Simpsonville's downtown walkability doesn't flow as cleanly as Greer's or Travelers Rest. The railroad tracks, obviously right here, they matter. They go right down Main Street. The layout matters. The way downtown is split up matters. This is exactly the kind of thing that relocation buyers don't notice when you're scrolling on Zillow. You don't see the railroad track. You don't see, all you see is near downtown Simpsonville, and assuming that you can perfectly stroll out of your house right to this downtown area, but you might not be able to. I live in Five Forks and my address is Simpsonville. When you actually get here, see, it looks perfect online, but when you actually get here and see it in person, you realize that the experience is broken up a lot more, but still cool, still a place where you can park your car and walk around, shop, eat, hang out, have fun for a number of hours. See, that doesn't make Simpsonville bad. It just means you need to have a game plan when you go out. Simpsonville is more the convenience king than a pure walkable downtown king. If you want grocery stores, restaurants, Target access, Fairview Road shopping, family neighborhoods, sports concerts, practical suburban life, Simpsonville is strong. If you want to walk out your front door to a seamless downtown grid, you need to be specific about where you buy, specifically close to the downtown Simpsonville area. The after 8 p.m. test is decent, but again, a lot of Simpsonville's energy is spread out. Some of the better convenience is not even in the historic downtown core. It's along Fairview Road and other commercial areas that you absolutely have to drive to. So don't confuse Simpsonville has a lot with downtown Simpsonville is walkable to all of it. These are two different locations. Like I said before, Five Forks is technically Simpsonville address. Simpsonville is spread out over almost a 20-minute drive in certain places. Now, the anchor test is where Simpsonville punches back. From downtown Simpsonville, you are roughly 13 to 14 miles to downtown Greenville. You're much closer to the Woodruff Road box world than Travelers Rest, than Greer, for sure than Easley. Costco, Target, and Sam's Club are much more reachable. You're talking 15, 20 minutes. GSP Airport is also very reasonable compared to some of the other further out towns. You're actually right by the 385 that has some of the best traffic. Avoid I-85. You move to Simpsonville because it makes your family life a lot easier. You move here for the neighborhoods, the downtown vibe, the amphitheater, the shopping, the concerts, the schools, depending on your specific area, daily convenience, and access to pretty much everything that you need. You don't move here because it's the cleanest walkable downtown in the Upstate. That crown belongs not here, somewhere else. Simpsonville is extremely practical though, but you don't buy here expecting Travelers Rest type of walkability. But as I've shown you, the downtown has multiple blocks, 2 or 3 blocks on each side with plenty of restaurants, coffee, shopping, ice cream, railroad tracks. It's pretty good. All right, now let's go west. We're talking Easley, because Easley is easily my favorite spot. This is a sleeper, I'm telling you. Easley doesn't get talked about enough, like Greer, Travelers Rest, Simpsonville. But if you ignore Easley, you might miss one of the most interesting value plays in the Upstate. Downtown Easley has history, character, food, local shops with places like the Silos, and the lifestyle conversation has been changed. Now, the center point is Old Market Square, and from this downtown core, you have a growing number of restaurants, food options with realistic walking. Now, it is separated by a railroad track. There is two sides. You have places like Inky's, You Drive Me Glazy, and other local options to give downtown Easley more than people ever expected. It's not as polished as other towns like Simpsonville and Greer, but that can actually be the best part of the appeal. Now, let's be honest, Easley has the railroad track issue like Simpsonville. The downtown experience can be split if you're trying to cross the street. It's not as clean, it's not as connected as Travelers Rest, and it's not as balanced as Greer by any stretch of the means, but it's up and coming. Doodle Trail is an 8-mile hiking and biking trail specifically for Easley. They have the Doodle Station across the street, and Teddy Swims is coming to the park, the amphitheater, 10 minutes away. I mean, that's pretty big news for Easley, South Carolina. But it's because it's a local feel. It has some grit, it has some charm, it has some value. And for some buyers who are priced out of the most popular areas, the East Side, Easley deserves a look. Okay, the after 8 p.m. test is improving here in Easley. Now, as you'll see, the railroad tracks, hi guys, the railroad tracks are right here. Doodle Station is across the street. So yes, you do have to cross the railroad tracks to get to the other sides, but the amphitheater's behind me. It's not a major nightlife. It's got more local dinners, casual hangouts, events based in downtown area. And again, not everybody's looking for a crazy nightlife. Some people are looking for affordability and access to Greenville. And that's what Easley does. It's got a cute, nice little downtown area. As you see, some people are looking for more affordability, access to Greenville with a little bit more space, and a downtown that still has a lot of room to grow. Now, distance-wise, Easley's is roughly 12 to 13 miles to downtown Greenville, depending on where you're starting from. But it's much further to Woodruff Road and the big box clusters. Now, the good thing is there's a Sam's Club in Powdersville about 10 minutes away. You're a long ways away from the airport. Easley may feel disconnected, but if your life is the west side of Greenville, Powdersville, Clemson direction, Anderson direction, you may have a different evaluation because Easley's becoming way more interesting. It's a little busy on this road right here. Here's the truth about Easley. It's not the obvious pick, but that's exactly why people should start paying attention. It's not the cleanest walkable downtown. It's not the fanciest, but it has value, charm, character, and momentum. And for the right buyer, especially someone who wants more affordability and doesn't need to live on the east side of Greenville, Easley could be the smartest decision you've ever made. And this is why you can't buy a house off pretty pictures. You need to test drive the area, see the commute times, 5 p.m., 7 p.m. in the mornings. How far is the Costco? How far is Sam's Club? How far is downtown and Reedy Falls Park? You need to know these things. I'm Jeffrey Sublett with RE/MAX Reach here in Greenville, South Carolina, downtown at Reedy Park. I hope people move to Greenville, South Carolina and the Upstate. I help them figure out the truth before they buy. Not just a pretty kitchen, but is their lifestyle actually better in downtown, Malden, Greer, Simpsonville? Because wrong usually doesn't show up right away. It shows up 6 months down the road. When the commute is annoying, when taking the kids to soccer practice gets long, when the grocery store is further, when date night is just not even realistic, and you realize you bought the house and forgot to check out what is around it. If you're moving to Greenville, South Carolina, and you're trying to figure this out, which actually fits your life, not just your budget, reach out to me. I'm here to help you compare houses, the area, the commute, the lifestyle, the trade-offs, before you make a decision that you're gonna regret. I'm Jeffrey Sublett with RE/MAX Reach here in Greenville, South Carolina, and all of the Upstate, helping you not make the wrong decision.